2, 3, 4. Comes a time when you're drifting. Comes a time when you settle down. Comes a light, feelings lifting. Lift that baby right off the ground. Oh, this whole world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. Oh, there comes a time. Everybody sing now. Oh, you and I, we were captured. We took our souls and we flew away. We were right, we were giving. That's how we kept what we gave away. Oh, this whole world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. There comes a time. This whole world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. Oh, there comes a time. Oh, there comes a time. There comes a time. Thank you. All right, now here's a beauty written by a fellow named Burton Lane many moons ago, I think. On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star. You'll feel part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near a word you've never heard before. So on a clear day, on a clear day, you can see forever, like today, forever more. On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines outshines every star you feel part of, every mountain, sea and shore. You can hear far, far and near a word you never heard before. So on a clear day, on a clear day, you will see forever and evermore. And this is Brenda Baird here on piano. In the ground you are, and you'll see who you are. On a clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you feel part of, every mountain, sea and shore. You will hear from far and near some words you never heard before. So on a clear day, on a clear day, you will see forever and ever and ever and ever more. Isn't she marvelous? Thank you very much. I don't know if we have time for one more. We're getting pretty close to the hour. We do have time for one more?
Absolutely. Go for it.
All right. All right, Big T, we'll do it. Now, come on, you guys, sing along with me. I hear the music, I hear the music down in my soul. Yes, I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world home. Okay, Brenda. The silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Okay, now I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power, yes I do, down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my Thank you. Wow, you guys. Great singing. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. Such a blessing. Such a blessing. Good morning, all. Such a blessing to be here with all of you, my friends. I am your host today, Luciana Velve, and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Vancouver's home for progressive spiritual practice. We warmly welcome all people, all faiths, and all lifestyle. Let's begin with our one power affirmation. All together now. There is only one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now please stand for our group singing song, When I Open My Mind.
When I open my mind, when I open my mind, when I open my mind, I see more clearly. When I open my mind, when I open my mind, when I open my mind, I see more clearly. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I open my heart, I see things differently. When I open my heart, when I open my heart, when I open my heart, I see things differently. When I open my soul, when I open my soul, when I open my soul, I open my soul, when I open my soul, I see love. When I open my mind, when I open my mind, when I open my mind, I see more clearly, I see more clearly, I see more clearly.
Thank you, thank you. And now, with our opening affirmation, our amazing board member, Janet Law.
Thank you. Well, today's talk is entitled A Path of Unity Through Compassionate Observations. So, we are going to start to kick things off 3 affirmations. Are you with me? Yes. Okay. So, all together now. I am always open to receiving divine guidance anytime, day or night. Let's say it again. I am always open to receiving divine guidance anytime, day or night. And number 2, I am always connected to the infinite love and wisdom of the universe. Let's say it again. I am always connected to the infinite love and wisdom of the universe. And number 3, the light within me is infinite wisdom. It always shows me the right thing to do. And we'll say it again. The light within me is infinite wisdom. It always shows me the right thing to do. And so it is.
Thank you, Janet. So today, we are thrilled to welcome Yogacharini Maitreyi, founder of Archaea Awareness Center and Archaea Foundation. Originally from South India, she has been given many titles in India like Yogacharini Gem, Yoga Channel Expert, and Yogacharini Guide. Was one of the youngest to be invited to be on the advisory board of the World Yoga Council in Europe in 2007. She has been a columnist for some of the top dailies and magazines in the world and is also involved in the film industry. Living in Vancouver, now she trains yoga teachers and healers. And today, dear friends, she's going to share how, just as Jesus embodied compassion for all humanity, yoga gives us a step-by-step framework to cultivate compassion for ourselves, others, and the world. We will be introduced to the yoga model of pancha, kosha, or the 5 bodies or fields of our being. Please join me in welcoming the one, the only, Maitreyi.
It's such a great blessing to be here. I was telling Luciana what a great hugger she was. When I first came, she gave me this really tight hug enveloped in love. And that's what Jesus stands for me. Somebody who can envelop all of us in love. So I feel really grateful that, not that the speaker was supposed to speak fell ill, because that's how I came in. Yesterday, Janet called me in between workshops. I had a busy day, and I had a 2.5-hour workshop in the morning and similarly in the evening, and she caught me in that right window. And it just felt so right in my spirit. And I said, yes, I'll see you tomorrow. She said the speaker was unwell, the earlier speaker. So thank you, everyone, and I look forward to sharing spirit with you. Thank you.
Please stand for the Lord's Prayer. Holy Spirit, creator and life of all, you create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Our oneness now prevails. Your one desire flows through us as energy fills our forms. You give us this day a physical and spiritual nourishment. You untangle the knots of error that bind us as we also release others. We don't let appearances make us forgetful of our source. We're born free to act from our highest nature. From your presence comes the glorious harmony of life. Now these words are fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen.
I'm going to do or facilitate the meditation sitting down. I'm just making sure it's okay for the camera if I move it. Okay, fantastic. So I'm just going to go a little further so the podium is not hiding me. That's fantastic. So we'll start off with a very simple mudra called the Jyoti Mudra, those beautiful affirmations that we did. Jyoti means inner illumination in Sanskrit. So this particular hand gesture is just bringing the tips of the fingers together very gently. And we place the forearms on our thighs, and let's keep our eyes closed. And just be present to the sensations in this Jyoti Mudra. Jyoti means inner illumination, like I said. But it also helps us rebalance the 5 elements our physical body is composed of: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And we pay respects to the land we walk on, the water bodies, the transformational power of fire, this beautiful, soft touch of the breeze, the spaciousness in our lives. In the yogic system, we start by observing what is tangible first, and then we move on to the subtle. So first, let's observe our body. How are we sitting on this chair? How are we occupying this space? Can we sit just a little bit taller? Can our chest be just a little bit more open, allowing for that heart resonance to be balanced? Can our shoulders be a bit more relaxed? And if you need to release a sigh, please do. Now let's observe our breathing. So the second layer of observation, and I'll talk about the principles of Karuna Sakshi Bhava later. Karuna is compassion, and it's much more than compassion in the Sanskrit translation. Sometimes you don't have an exact translation. And we'll delve into that in the talk. But for now, simply be with your breathing and observe the breath as it moves into your nostrils, into the windpipe, into the lungs, and follow the breath out. The breath is intimately connected to our present moment. So as we anchor in the breath, we anchor in the present, not the past, not the future, but giving gratitude for what is in this moment. Now we're going to deepen and lengthen the breath. So let's breathe in, expanding our rib cage, lower, mid, upper chest, and breathing out through the mouth with lips pouted like a crow's beak. Let's do this again. Breathe in. Expanding, 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 and releasing. The breath is very intimately connected to our emotional patterns. And we're at the edge of the seat holding the breath in anticipation of what can go wrong. So let's release all this fearful anticipation that we've been holding in our bodies. Breathe in, expanding, expanding, going into all the nooks and corners of your rib cage, and release through the mouth. Breathe in, expand, 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 and release. Breathe in. Take in all the love and calm and peace that's available to us, and gently release. Now let's come back to our bodies. The tangible. Tan means body, and it's very similar to the English word tangible. And let's narrow it into our palms, our awareness. So from our bodies, our awareness is shifting to our fingers and palms. And if you're sensitized, you might feel some magnetic energy, you might feel a tingling. We'll go deeper into this later. But we're going to take a few seconds just to be in silence with this energy between our palms. A mudra is an energetic seal. It seals energy or prana or life force in a particular pathway in the body and also around it. So this mudra moves energy so that it is used for inner illumination rather than dissipated in too much external activity. And as the singers beautifully spoke of the silence of the soul, let's take about 30 seconds in silence at least. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your palms, to the sensations between the fingers. Let's anchor all these levels of awareness with one deep breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now the last level of awareness is the Shiva Stambam. Stambam is a pillar, the pillar of consciousness. So if you're a visual person, feel a pillar of light around you, moving through you. It extends to infinity on top, infinity below. And a stambam or a pillar supports a building to stand. You see the architecture in India, a lot of the old architecture has beautifully carved pillars. And visualizing this Shiva Stambam brings into our lives these elevated, not just structures, elevated supportive structures, but people who embody that energy. And we can also be a support unto others. So let's stay with this subtler level of awareness, just for a few seconds. Again, if the mind wanders, gently bring it back to this feeling of pillar of light, or being able to internally see this pillar of light. Now let's gently bring our awareness to all these layers. The body, how is your body? Is it comfortable? Is it open? Is it relaxed? Is it stable? How is your breathing? What are the sensations between the palms, fingers? And can you be present to this pillar of light? And let's anchor all these levels of awareness using 3 deep breaths. Breathing in, expanding the lower chest and diaphragm, mid chest, upper chest, front, sides, back. and release through the mouth. Breathing in, expanding, 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 and releasing through the mouth. And one last time, breathe in. Fill those lungs in with the song of the breath being so hum. I am the origin, breathing out. And just take a moment. This eye is the bigger eye, the divine eye, not the personality that can get enmeshed. Now gently rub the palms, just creating some friction, a little bit of heat, and then place it on your eyes. And let's soothe the eyes. And this is a gesture called the Sparsha Mudra. Sparsha is conscious, loving touch, and a means through which we can send love and energy to ourselves and another. And also reminding our bodies it's safe to spend a few minutes within. It's safe to turn the attention inwards so that we might cultivate inner sight or insight. And gently relax the palms when you're ready. And welcome back. Is there music? Oh, okay.
There's a new church on the horizon, made of light, not of stone, calling out to all creation, you are not alone. Lions and lambs, saints and sinners, best of friends, enemies, woman and man, losers and winners, they are all in you and me. We are one heart, looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all part of one heart. Out in the cold, there are faces hidden by the wind and rain. Hold out your hand, someone will take it and bring you home again. We are one heart, looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all part of one heart. All around the world tonight, oh, the fires are burning. Tears are falling from the sky, still the world keeps turning. We are one heart, one soul, one dream we share together. We are all apart, yes we are. One heart, looking for answers. We are one soul, finding our way through the dark. One dream we share together. We are all a part of one heart. We are one. Yes, we are one. We are part of one heart.
I was like, I'd love to keep hearing you. So I come from a yogic tradition from India, South India. That's where I was born and raised. And my grandfather was my first guru, and his name was R. Krishnamurti. The name is famous because of J. Krishnamurti. I'm sure most of you have heard of the philosopher from India. And he was a great intellectual and also very divinely connected. But my grandmother was much simpler. She'll say, all gods are good, all gods are good, as long as they tell you to be kind. So that was her indicator of all the foreign gods she'd been exposed to. If they tell you to be kind, then it's a good god to follow. And that's the beauty of, I would say, someone who truly follows Jesus. He was the master of compassion. And one of the substratums in the yogic process is to have this foundation of Karuna. Now the word Karuna in Sanskrit is roughly translated to compassion. But Kar means hands. So it's not just the feeling of compassion, but also acting on your compassion to alleviate the suffering of yourself or someone else. And that key thing, you can't translate it in such a big, sentence, and usually you find the translation compassion. So we are taught that on a yogic path, that is the foundation on which we base our lives. So if we see all the Sanskrit words associated with this word karuna, you have the word karma, you have kara, which is hands, the hands connected to the heart. So how do we act in alignment with the heart? How does the head, heart, and hands work in unity or in union? And the word yoga itself comes from the root word yuj, meaning to yoke, to bind, to bring together. So this bringing together of the individual consciousness with the supreme consciousness. So there are no names or gods or anything given. It simply says Jivatma, which is this individual consciousness, coming together. This process and the end result is both yoga. That's how yoga is described. Of course, when I came to the West, I learned a whole new definition of yoga. I was like, oh, there's power yoga, and there's hot yoga, and there's yin yoga. I wasn't exposed to any of the brands like soaps of yoga in India when I was raised. So it was a new education for me, I must say. So traditionally speaking, it was this union, it was this communion, and this huge, again, you can see in the root of all these words, unity, community, wholesome communion, holy communion. And that's what all of us are seeking, whatever race, whatever age, that's what our heart is longing for, this wholesome or holy communion. So there's a very step-by-step yet simple process given in the yogic system, which says first we should apply this karuna on ourselves. And in what process do we apply it? Not just, yes, we are compassionate, but we also observe ourselves compassionately. And what we just did in the meditative session is that we observe the body first. So unfortunately, with most yoga classes, it starts and ends with the body. It doesn't progress. So we start with the body. Then we start with what the body is doing in relationship to other people. Then we move on to the breath, our emotions. So what are our triggers? What is our trauma? What is all that we're holding that makes us act unconsciously and hurt others and ourselves, or could be or ourselves, or the world? And what is that unconscious patterning that we need to sit with and dissolve so that the highest can work through us? So apart from this simple process, there are certain breathing practices, again done compassionately. If the breath, the body is tight, the breath is contracted. Again, all of you know that that can happen. By now, the yoga practices at least are quite popular. You know that when there's trauma, when somebody comes to punch us, then our immediate reaction is to tighten our gut to protect our organs. So similarly, over years, this contraction, this tensing, this tightening of the body has happened. And so in yoga, we're opening, we're allowing. So on a very tangible and physical and somatic level, we are creating that. And we're doing the same on a breath level as well. We're deepening the breath. We're calming the nervous system. Again, the nervous system can be rattled due to many, many things, not just personal interactions, but it could be the media, it could be world news. Anything can rattle us. So again, using the breath. And then working with the mind. So in the yogic system, we're taught that we don't have just a physical body. Yes, we have a physical body, we work with it, very important. We have a emotional or a pranic body, which for most people is around arm's length. Now, there are stories where it is said the Buddha had a pranic field or an energy field which was over 1 kilometer. And that's how his disciples knew he was coming. Those days, there's no internet or, smartphone. Hey, I'm coming to your village to give a talk, So that didn't happen. So the students or the disciples will tune in and say, oh, I sense the Buddha's prana, or I sense him coming. And therefore, they knew and they announced it to everybody in the village that he was on his way. So we can also cultivate very strong pranic fields where this becomes our circle of influence. Have you walked into somebody's pranic field and you feel, oh, I feel fine, I feel good? Or you walk into a home and you feel, maybe they've had a fight, like something is not right here. So this is what we're picking up. This energy is what we're picking up when we're sensitized to this pranic field. Then we have another wider field, which is called the manomaya kosha, or the mind field. And the yogic perspective is that we have a brain, which is like a transistor, and we have a mind, which is like radio stations. So depending on what radio stations we liked as a kid, we may habitually tune into those radio stations without discerning whether we like them or not. Maybe we had a radio station saying, oh, when we feel upset, I want to eat sugar. And then that's playing in your head, oh, just get a little bit of cake, just a little bit of cake. And then we just go for that. It's okay, And then more, we are on a yogic path. That radio station, at least by my gurus, was replaced by choose sattvic food. Choose sattvic food. Sattvic food is anything that keeps you calm and doesn't give you a high and a drop, and a high and a rush, and a high and a drop. So it doesn't give you this roller coaster ride for your blood sugar or your nervous system. So for me, that was replaced, thankfully. So now I'm like, okay, even if I want sugar, can I eat something healthy? So I'm just giving a very basic food choice example. So this manomaya kosha, which is there, is like this transistor. Or maybe we had somebody in our younger years who said, oh, you have a long nose, or you look terrible, or you're not good at math, or whatever that radio station is. Can we tune out of it and create a more yogic radio station that we tune into, or something that's connected to the divine, a more light-filled radio station? So that's also what we understand. As we understand, we're not just the physical body. Physical, emotional, then we have the mind field, and then we have a field that extends to all of existence. And this beautiful field is called the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Jnanam is wisdom, and Vijnanam is great wisdom. So again, in this, it's a very scientific structure that's given. There's no names of gods or anything. This is coming from yogic science and yogic psychology. So in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, when we tap in, thankfully we're living in an internet age, and I can give the example. However, like 20 or 30 or even 40 years ago, if somebody had said, oh, you can just type onto this computer, and servers are in different parts of the world, and within half a second everything is going to be downloaded, and you have all this downloadable information, you'd probably look at the person and say, this is pretty ridiculous. This person is a little cuckoo there, But this is what the rishis, or the researchers, I like to call the sages the researchers, they discovered thousands of years ago. They said there is something there that we can tap into. They simply called it the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the great wisdom field. That's the name in Sanskrit. And how do we tap into it? Again, there's all these processes of compassionate self-witnessing, compassionate realignment to this great wisdom field. So we learn one practice towards the end to realign to the, I don't want to give you too many things, that'll bog you down, but just this one practice called the Jyoti Kriya. We did the Jyoti Mudra, which was a hand position, but we'll also do the Jyoti Kriya, which is a practice, again the word kra, before I talk about the practice. So karma, kriya, we had karuna, kara, all have the same root, which is to do, and to do good. So with karuna, you're compassionate, but you're not just being compassionate, you're doing something to alleviate the suffering of yourself or others. And with kriya, it is a process of purification. It's an action. So all of these are action words. Kriya means any action for the process of purification. So in the Jyoti Kriya, what we do is we purify anything that does not support us from tapping into our own inner light. And we'll do that towards the end. So I was talking about this Vijnanamaya Kosha, this great wisdom field, which is there. And beyond that, we have the Anandamaya Kosha, or the great bliss field. So this bliss is accessible to us at any time. And you might say, oh, why aren't we feeling it? Because we're not aligned. So in anything, a political group, we need a little bit of alignment. We need to be aligned with that thought process. But unfortunately, what happens is various other thought processes take over, and therefore we miss out on this alignment. So this alignment, again, is created, the substratum. I'm going back again and again to the substratum of Karuna, Sakshi Bhava, compassionate witnessing. So what we're going to do now is just a simple practice, and I'll go through all these 5 layers again. You don't have to get too bogged down by the names. Maybe I'll invite everybody to stand up like I am. And let's get a little bit of shaking. Let's just shake out the physical body before we go into an energetic practice. Let's do the wrists, let's do the elbows, the shoulders, now the knees, the head. Let's just feel like a little gollywog or a rag doll which has no bones. And whoosh out anything that we don't need. Let's just clear the pranic field around us. So imagine, even if you can't feel what's going on there, you have some old cobwebs. There's a lot of cobwebs around. My mother didn't love me as much as she loved my brother. I don't know what the cobwebs are. You know them for you. I'm just speaking to mine. No, I have a great relationship with my mother. We're very close. But that was the cobweb when I was younger. Yeah, I was like, does she actually think the boy child is better? You know, I did have that doubt. So clear and then throw it out. Beautiful. And we'll just sit back. And then we'll come back with this Jyoti Mudra. We're going to start and close with this. And keeping the eyes closed this time. And we'll take a moment of silence, just a few seconds, not too long. And think about this substratum, these principles of compassion. If there's time later, there's a little story about a snake which wanted to become a disciple of compassion. I can share that later. And see if you feel any connection, any energy. This is a much subtler awareness than working with the physical body. And if you don't, that's fine too. Now gently open your eyes. And you can see what I'll be doing. Our hands up and behind, all the way behind. And breathing out. You don't have to lift your head up yet. You can just look straight for now. Breathing in. Feel your arms like angel wings, enveloping you with love. Breathing out. Clearing your pranic field of old cobwebs. Breathe in. Going all the way up and behind, and breathing out. And we'll just take a moment here with eyes closed, still standing. So we're using the physical body, but we're also moving to the pranic body, prana, life force. And as the mind is anchored in the body and the breath, the mind is also purified and aligned with this divine wisdom that illumines the light within. And we're also connecting to the bliss field, the Anandamaya kosha. So we'll do it 3 more times. Breathe in. Feel your angel wings, soft, gentle, compassionate, all around you. Breathing out. Breathe in. Feel these soft arms go up and behind. Extend as far back behind as you can. Breathing out. Beautiful. Everybody's doing great. Bring it down. One last time. Breathe in. By now you know what to do, so you can keep your eyes closed and have the focus internally. And then breathing out. Beautiful. It's nice to see all these beautiful angels in the room. And you can sit down and keep your eyes closed just for a few seconds. And just feel the Jyoti Mudra between your fingers, just for a few seconds. And slowly open your eyes. So as we do this practice, the prana between the fingers, but also through our bodies will increase. And whenever there's misalignment, there's a blockage in the pranic flows. So coming to my closing story about this little cobra. So in Sanskrit, cobra is called bhujangini. So we also have a little breath where we breathe in through the nose and we hiss out through the teeth. So we'll just do, what happened to you? Like, you look terrible. So the cobra said, Master, I was just so inspired by your talk that I decided to follow being compassionate. And I don't know how many of you have gone to India, but village boys are the nosiest, no boundaries. So this poor little cobra is now on a mission to not hurt anybody and to have compassion. And so here come these boys, and they kind of go near it, no hissing, it's like this peaceful cobra. Then they poke it with a stick. Cobra is like, I have to be compassionate and peaceful. So it doesn't do anything. Pick up the cobra, start ringing it around, playing with it, throwing it on the trees, and poor cobra is battered. So the master looks at the cobra and says, I told you not to bite, but I did not tell you not to hiss. And so this hissing breath is something that we practice to cultivate better boundaries. So as much as we need compassion for others, we also need compassion for ourselves and knowing our boundaries. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure, and it was a joy and a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Forgot, I'm gonna let it be the summer. I'm gonna let it be your face, the one that ran away. I'm gonna let it be forever. I'm gonna let it rain and hail. Gonna let that rusty nail no longer hold this world together. I'm gonna let it be the sun in more ways than one. Share a different way tomorrow. Share a different way tomorrow. Let it be the moon, let it play your tune, the one that keeps repeating. I'm gonna let it be your will and let you have your thrill, if that's what you are needing. I'm gonna let it start again, gonna chase the wind with my arms stretched out before me. I'm gonna let it look at me as I am sleeping in the dark and love me like a baby. The sun in more ways than one, run out of its horizon. for I have had my day dancing at the back door. I'm gonna let it hear the prayer, no matter who is there, no matter who is listening. I'm gonna let the dream tell me what it has always known, the moonlight and the glistening, the moonlight and the glistening, the moonlight and the glistening waves.
Thank you, Linda and Brenda, for the beautiful music, and thank you, Maitreyi. One more round of applause. It was an amazing, inspiring practice that we'll take with us, and I will for sure try every day. Thank you. Dear friends, if you're watching online, come on out and join us next Sunday in person. We work hard to make a good online show, but there is just something really special about being here for the live show. We hope you will join us next week. We hope you heard something today that expanded your consciousness. And we pray that whatever it is makes a big difference in your life. And you know, it is you who makes what we do possible. So please give generously. Your donations have powered this center, the talks, the classes, the prayer chaplains and concerts, and so much more for over 60 years. And it is your giving that continues a lineage of spiritual souls who have kept the flame of truth burning for all this time. And we just want to let you know how much we appreciate you helping us. Friends, you know that God is the source of everything in our lives. So whatever you give today, please give it from a state of gratitude for all that you have received. And know that we believe your best days are still ahead of you. And may it be so. So now let's say our offering affirmation all together now. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. If you're here in person, please drop off your donation with the ushers as you exit the sanctuary. To donate online, simply click on the donate link in your chat window, which will allow you to give via all major credit cards. You can also give via e-transfer, which can be addressed to donations@unityofvancouver.org. Once again, if you are on Zoom or YouTube, you will find a donate link in your chat window. Now, while we are making our donations, let's enjoy a short instrumental. Thank you. Our Course in Miracles study groups are growing in popularity as a way to find, create, and live a more loving life. Why not check a class out? Study groups meet on Tuesdays from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. in person. The weather has been so good, we've decided to do some of our courses outside. For the 2 weeks, A Course in Miracles classes will be held in Kilchena Park, next to Hellenic Garden in the shade. The park is at the corner of Valley Drive and Magnolia Street, also known as West 30th Avenue. Bring your own chair, water, and dress for the weather. Our Thursday evening A Course in Miracle group is on break for the rest of the summer, but will resume Thursday, September 7th on Zoom. Also, to mark the beginning of the harvest season, please join us on the evening of Tuesday, August 8th at 7 p.m. for a celebration of Luganza, which is a Gaelic term for the halfway point between the autumn equinox and the summer solstice. Fern Logan will lead attendees in a process to release the chaff in your life and breaking off first bread together in gratitude for our blessings. The Mosok Chakwi is a ceremony performed by Undine Pacos once a year to renew their vows to Mother Earth, which is a way to renew their power. For more than a millennia among indigenous people of the Andes, August 1st is a day for the ceremony of Pachamama Raimi, when all households, shopkeepers, families, and business make gratitude offerings to Mother Earth in thanks for her blessings and ask for abundance. So mark your calendars for Tuesday, August 8th at 7 p.m. And complete details can be found, as always, at unityofvancouver.org. And finally, join us next Sunday when Reverend Terence Shee will be back with pointers on our true selves and its relationship with the infinite. It's going to be amazing. Today's affirmative prayer chaplains are Carol Roman, Margaret McLeod, Shirley Thompson, and Caroline Connolly on Zoom. Could you please stand so we can see who you are? Thank you. Thank you for your service to the light. I highly recommend. Those prayers are so empowering, uplifting, and really magical. So to have a confidential prayer with one of our chaplains, simply come up to the front after all the music has finished. They will be sitting or standing at the front until then and would love to support you in prayer. And if you're watching on Zoom or YouTube, I will show you how you can too participate in just a few minutes. And finally, mark your calendars for the annual Unity Picnic, which will be on Sunday, August 13th, and begin at about 1 p.m. at Maple Grove Park. This is always a fun event, so mark your calendars. Please join us downstairs after the service for coffee, tea, cookies, and friendly conversation. If you're here for the first time, we'll do our best to make you feel welcome, because you really are. And now, as we bring this part of our service to a close, let's say our prayer for protection, all together now. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please now stand for our peace song.